I'm Marie Lilly.
Thomas Lilly.
And John Lilly.
Because Thomas has went into the senior phase of his school life, he's 16, that's brought us into the transition phase. Way back in January we had a transition meeting, and at the transition meeting was a representative from Careers Development Scotland, and she explained at that meeting that Thomas wouldn't be somebody that Skills Development Scotland would work with because he was a code red. That was very upsetting to hear your child has been described as a code red. They went on to explain that they have code red, an amber and a green. The young people who are in the green category are deemed independent and can go on help themselves. The amber group are their target group, who are the young people who need a bit of help, motivation to get into employment or further education. And the red group are young people who are deemed to have significant input or needing significant input, and it's they are not the people that they would work with. After that meeting, there was a roadshow called Scotland's Got Young Talent, and Thomas and I went along to it, and there was various points of information within that. One of the people we went to see was from Remploy, and I told the man from Remploy this story, and what he said was, we need to go to our local job centre plus, and at the local job centre plus would be a disability employment advisor, and that's the person who he thought would be most likely to be able to help Thomas. So that's what I done. I went along to the local job centre plus. We stay in a rural area, and the people at the job centre were very, very helpful, but had a limited knowledge of disability employment advisor. After a good few weeks, maybe about 5 weeks, the disability employment advisor from Greenock contacted us, and she was very nice, very helpful, and we've started building a relationship with her. Thomas's local education authority, his teacher and principal teacher, Achievement Butte, the local social work department, and latterly the disability employment advisor from Job Centre Plus. So that's the main people I've been at the meetings, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And us, of course. However, some of the meetings do go on. We were in the school on Wednesday from 12 o'clock till 5:30. So things tend to run on a bit.
That was a cross between a transition meeting and his
CSP
meeting. Some of the same people were there. Thomas's social worker was there.
Mm-hmm.
2 teachers were there. 3 teachers were there.
Yeah.
Well, 3 teaching members of the school were there.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep.
Was there anybody else there?
Thomas.
Yes.
Thomas actually, funnily enough, wasn't at his own transition meeting.
He
actually only came at his CSP meeting.
That's right.
So his teacher had spoken to Thomas in his class over a period of 3 weeks, she said, about things he would like to do and things he would like to accomplish in his life. And she read out the list. So, yeah, I did wonder why he wasn't there actually at his own transition meeting. Well, we're just kind of stepping into the world of transitions. The experience what we've had so far isn't absolutely fantastic.
I'll do it.
Yeah, your transition process has been hard work up to now.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll get a bit easier.
It is now.
The disability employment advisor was telling us that Thomas could claim benefits and still work up to 16 hours a week. That was something we were unaware of, which would be fantastic if you could do something like that and still have it sometimes sounds as if you want it all. You want everything to be like everybody else gets. But because of Thomas's circumstances, you do need to have something to fall back on. So that would be great if Thomas could have something like that. He could have some sort of employment and still get his benefits in case that the employment doesn't work out or there's big gaps between employment. So that would be good. I used to go to a partners in policy making course. It was a good number of years ago. And at that they told a story about a man and two sons who had, the two sons had difficulties and needed extra support. And I think when it came to their transition into adulthood, all it was kind of offered was local authority housing. And their father, I believe, thought they should have the right to buy a property the same as everybody else, and went on and brought the two young people through their benefits because it was a regular income, managed to get mortgages and houses in the same estate. And that would be something that we would be interested in for Thomas. I don't see why he shouldn't capitalise in buying and selling of properties like everybody else, or the losses as it is just now. But I don't see why he should just be railroaded into one system fits all. And yeah, if Thomas wants to buy a house and move in with Nicole, I don't see why not. I think he should be allowed to do that. I think the banks and the building societies should be more open-minded, and people should be aware of their rights like everybody else. I heard there's an organisation in Edinburgh called Housing Options. I've already been in touch with them. That was a couple of years ago. So hopefully they'll be able to help us as well when it comes the time for that. It would have been good if somebody, I don't know how to put it, took the pressure off you and they organised that, instead of you always having to fight and moan at people to do things. And it would be great if people knew the things that they were meant to know. We go to meetings and we ask questions to the people that are, as I said before, that are meant to be there to help you. And usually they don't have the answers, and they don't know where to find the answers. So as I said, you're left to go and find them yourself. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really surprise us because of the experiences we've had with him regarding Thomas
Before.
since going through secondary. So
Aye.
it'd be good if all that didn't happen and you had more faith.
Yeah, and people.
But
If people were just up to speed, do you know? If they kind of... Everybody doesn't know everything all of the time. I don't mean that. But if they had a general idea of where to find the information, so the professional people you're going to seek information from, who are there to help you, they don't know the information. But if they could tell you, yeah, we don't know, but we'll find out. But they don't. They just kind of, well, we don't know. So, tough. And that's, I find that hard to take.
So the whole transition experience has been you pushing it, and if you stop pushing it, it's going to grind to a halt.
It's not.
And that'll never happen.
So it's like a case, we see it through. It's going to be a case of keep pushing and reminding.
Yeah, and it's the
No.
push all the time,
It's not.
and it can grind you down. It can exhaust you, mentally exhaust you to the point that you need to step back from it. And it shouldn't be like that. As I said, all these documents, all these government policies, all these people in jobs that are getting a lot of money, well, a lot more than me, getting £58 a week, and you've still got to push them all the time. It's a constant push and a constant leading. It shouldn't be us that's leading, because we don't know anything. They're the professionals. They're getting all the money. They have the expertise. but it's you've got to lead them. And you never get two answers the same. You know, one person will tell you one thing, another person will tell you something else. The same as the Skills Development Scotland. Go to the local authority are saying no, it's Skills Development Scotland. So you're batted from pillar to post all the time, constant pushing and jostling and everybody hating you. That can be upsetting, especially when you stay in a small rural community. You're never away from it.
It is.
Am I right?
No.
On the other hand, from that, staying in a small community, the people who you expect to be less accepting are the ones that put themselves out the most, you know, and help. There, Thomas going to the radio station, that person's never been trained to work with Thomas with disabilities. I was never trained to work with Thomas who's got additional support needs. So you don't need training, you just need to be human. That's what you need to be. You don't need to be trained. Don't let anything slip. Don't let anything fall behind. Be on top of it all the time.
No.
Don't expect people to carry through what they say they're going to do and be let down at the last minute. Take notes. Make sure you've got notes of every meeting. Record everything that people have agreed to do. And don't get ground down.
No.
Because at times you will.
It is.
But try and seek support from each other. Your friends, your families, and perhaps other people in a similar position. I know we're all unique and individual, and our stories are all unique to us, but there is some similarities along the way. So, yeah, that's it. Take notes. That's the biggest one. Be specific. Make sure people are making dates, times, and specifying exactly what they're going to do, and make sure it's recorded. Because if it's not recorded, when you go back to ask why it's not been done, they'll pass you from pillar to post. Stay strong, people.